Assalamu alaikum, hi everybody, welcome to a new video. Thank you very much for watching and listening. In this video, we're gonna analyze 6-7 mistakes that our national team coach Vahid Halilhodzic made during the game against Egypt. We're gonna analyze those mistakes or decisions that he didn't make to solve a problem. So yeah, in this video, we're gonna analyze it. And yeah, I hope to see your opinion in the comments. What do you think about this 6-7 mistakes, and what are your opinion about our national team coach? Let's first talk about the 6-7 mistakes in short that happened during the game. I don't gonna talk about before the game. I didn't agree with the lineup. That's what I can say. I didn't agree, but I don't gonna use it in this video because you know, before the game you don't know how a game is gonna go, what will happen, what the players are gonna do. For me, mistakes before the game are less unacceptable than mistakes during the game or decisions that you didn't make during the game. That is for me far more unacceptable than if it happens before the game. So that's the reason. Let's take you in this 6-7 mistakes that happened during the game. Mistake number 1, which we all saw, is when we got that early lead, we stopped playing football. We only played defense, only fully on the defense. And what is unacceptable, it is okay to play more defensive if you have an early lead, especially against a strong opponent like Egypt, because you want also a team like Egypt to come to you, to leave some space, to give you more opportunities. But you need to have a plan if you have the ball, and we didn't have any plan. We didn't play on the counter, we didn't play in possession. What was the plan if you have the ball? You need to choose. If you play defensive, even if you are parking the bus fully with the whole squad in your own half, you need to have a plan if you have the ball. You need to have a plan. Are we gonna play on the counter, or we gonna keep it in control, try to control the game? We were not even having a long time of possessioning. So we couldn't even think about controlling the game, because if you want to control the game, you need a long time of possession, but we didn't have that. So controlling the game, we were far from it, very far from it. If an opponent played like this against us, how we played during this whole game, nearly the whole game, we would say they can't play football. They can't play football in total. That's what we would say. I'm fully 100% of it. But okay, that is first mistake. Second mistake, at the break, why we didn't change anything? I mean, also in the second half, when Egypt right from the start was dominating us, was pressuring us, was amazing to see, especially the first 15 minutes in the second half. We also, at that moment, we don't see anything. The only thing that we saw is that we play even more closer to Yassine Bounou. We were standing more deep with our defensive line. I mean, you just invite Egypt even more. Come, attack us, attack us. And your defensive line, where you miss your first goalkeeper, where you miss Ahmed Higazi, where you miss Ahmed Tawfiq, no, we don't gonna pressure it. We give them even more time. They are, don't get me wrong, their defensive was very good, but they were missing players. But you give, and what must a team do if the opposite team miss players in defense? Pressure them, makes them uncomfortable, make some chaos. We didn't do that. We give them even more time. Take your time. Take your time to search for En-Nesyri. Take your time to search for Marmoush. Take your time to search for Mohamed Salah. That's what we did. That's mistake number 2. Don't solve the problems that we saw in the first half. Mistake number 3. If you want to stay very defensive, to park the bus and don't want to play possession or control the game or play on a counter. Okay, I don't agree with that, but okay. Then you must look for players which suits this. Barko doesn't suit this. Boufal doesn't suit this. Selim Amallah doesn't suit this. Munir al Haddadi probably also doesn't suit this. So what's now the meaning of the game plan? What's now the meaning of winning a game if you are playing very defensive with players who are not comfortable with that, who are not capable of that? And that's not their mistake, that's the mistake of the coach. Use something, do something, change some players. Here we come to point number 3. Change something. Why against Gabon in the 30th minute you put Ilyas Shair off? There Vahid Halilhodzic showed how hard he can be. He subbed a promising young talent from us in the 30th minute in a game where we only were fighting for first or second place in the group. We were secured of the knockout rounds. We only played for first place or second place. And that's also something what I don't understand. Why in that game you did that? You put somebody off from the 30th minute. And yesterday in an all or nothing game, our most important game during this tournament, you don't do this. Why? Munir al Haddadi was not in the game. Aymen Barko was not in the game. Youssef En-Nesyri also. Yeah, Selim Amallah and Sofiane Boufal also, but those players were in form. This also are players who can change something. I mean, okay, if you want to be fully on defense, choose the right players or switch to a 5-3-2. What did Egypt when they were up front, 2-1? What did they do? They put Mahmoud Ala in. They played 5-3-2. But even while they played 5-3-2, they were searching sometimes for attack. They were searching for counters. And we didn't do that in a 4-3-3. Unbelievable. Mistake number 4. The substitution of Sofiane Boufal in the, I think, 66th minute. I mean, yeah, he was not in the game. Not his mistake. He didn't get right passes. All the passes were too late, or they passed to him when he was man-marked by 1, 2, sometimes even 3 defenders. I mean, it's not his mistake. And I don't understand why you are putting your men in form off from the field. And at the same time, Munir al-Haddadi was also not in the game, but also not in form. And probably why he was not in form, because he has no match rhythm. So unbelievable to the man who was making the difference for us in the Africa Cup to give him an early substitution. It's just, yeah, unbelievable. That's mistake number 4. Mistake number 5. I now come to the end of the game. We have Nayef Aguerd and Romain Saiss, 2 tall players, long players, who are very good in headers. We see that always in set pieces with our national team, but also at their clubs against big defenders from the Premier League and from the Ligue 1. Why you don't play them as pinchitter the last 5 or 10 minutes? Egypt missed the giant Higazi. Egypt missed El Shenawi, Abu Gabel. They played with their third goalkeeper. Their defenders at that moment were not tall. They are not of the same reach as Nayef Aguerd and Romain Saiss. Why they didn't come up front to play as a pinch hitter? That's something I also don't understand. Literally. I mean, I remember of a game of Vahid Halilhodzic with Algeria against Germany. I don't remember anymore from which minute it was, but I remember in the extra time, so after the 90 minutes, that at the end of the game when Algeria was behind, Majid Bouguerra was up front. A central defender was up front. Also a big player, good in the air. Why we didn't see it yesterday? For what? And Majid Bouguerra was up front against Jerome Boateng, Mats Hummels, tall players. And yesterday Egypt didn't have any tall players anymore, not of the same reach as Nayef Aguerd and Romain Saiss. That is for me mistake number 5. Mistake number 6. When we were behind and you start all attacking, you should have a game plan. Do you gonna cross it? Do you gonna keep positioning? Do you gonna rely on individual class? We yesterday, of course, you're gonna see a mix of things because you go to situations where players, of course, gonna lose a bit their mind. They're gonna lose themselves probably also because they want to win. But yeah, what we saw yesterday, that's what we saw in our bad time with the national team between 2007 until 2014-15. Players shooting from 30-40 meters, simple passes of 4 or 5 meters are not coming, crosses while nobody is in the box or even close to the goalkeeper, uncontrolled or unorganized. I mean, that is what we saw in our bad era. Are we gonna bring that back? I mean, Algeria got a lot of critics this tournament, but when they played all or nothing against Equatorial Guinea, against Sierra Leone, even in the match against Cote d'Ivoire where they lost 3-1, you could see more game plan. You saw more logical mixes of attacks, logical choices, and from us in the quarterfinals against Egypt, we didn't see it. Egypt even gave us a masterclass, by the way. They gave us a masterclass. They showed us how to play when you are behind. Because especially in the first 15 minutes after the break, they were just fully dominating us. And when they were up front, they showed us how to defend. They put the extra defender in, played a 5-3-2 or 5-2-3, kept it closed in the defense, and at the same time they were attacking, they were countering. They had in the extra time after they were up front with 1-2 more possibilities to attack. That they had more possibilities to attack is logical because they had more space, but they had more chances than us and they were more dangerous than us. Well, we had more players up front. Amazing. These are for me the big 6-7 mistakes of the game. So give me in the comments your opinion about this big 6-7 mistakes. How did you watch the game against Egypt? And inshallah in the next days there's still coming a podcast where we talk about our whole tournament and yeah, some other content which will come in the next days. So make sure to subscribe, to give this video a like, to share this video, and see you in the next time inshallah. Tallah for Salam alaikum.